Hello friends, you're with a lonesome gamer and I'm playing Sentinels of the Multiverse. I'm playing with 3 heroes, Legacy, Bunker and Absolute Zero, and we're fighting Citizen Dawn in the ruins of Atlantis. And well, we already did a few turns, I think about 5 or so, and we're actually quite successful. My heroes are pretty strong. He's increasing the damage of all of them by 2 basically every turn, and he is immune to environment cards. That's a good one. And he is in this turret mode, which allows him to use 2 powers in 1 turn. So he uses usually this to heal and the grenade launcher to shoot. And then he also has the Gatling gun and equipment that does also a lot of damage. And because he's in that mode, he gets an additional damage. So he deals a lot of damage when it's his turn. And finally, it's Absolute Zero, and he can actually take a lot of damage because he can heal with this null point calibration unit combined with the focused purchase that makes his healing action pretty effective. On the other hand, if we kill this guy here, Citizen Blood, this will be the 5th citizen in the trash, and that means then that the card of Citizen Dawn will be flipped, which means that she would be immune to damage until there are 4 citizens in play. So I thought now of well, you could say, okay, there is this kind of conservative tactics. I simply kill that guy, flip her, and wait until she's fit again, and try to just somehow keep heal until all the 4 are there. Then I kill the 4 and I try to kill her at the end. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure that would work. But I think it's also possible the other way. Although I didn't calculate that. But I think it should be possible just to wait, to let the citizens do some damage and to kill her. She only has 53 points left. And I think if I'm doing good in a turn, I can do about, I don't know, maybe 15 points of damage to her during 1 turn. Maybe it's even possible to do maybe 1 or 2 turns 20 or something like that. So maybe I can. It might be possible to finish this in about 3 turns. Problem is, this card here, the Mystical Defenses, they would kill him normally in 2 turns. But on the other hand, there is this Luminous Leadership, which allows him to regain 1 hit point per turn. So that gives me a little more time. As I said, I haven't calculated this through, and of course it depends also what kind of cards she draws. If she draws some really dangerous citizens or so, I might have to react here. But for now, my strategy is simply to attack her and only her, and take the damage she does. I think I'm strong enough to do this. Okay, so for now it's the start of the villain turn, and each citizen will regain 1 hit point. So that is 1 for her and 1 for him. And yeah, then we draw a card. And that's Citizen Winter. Okay. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals each hero target 2 cold damage. Okay. These are 4 hit points. Or she has actually 4 hit points. Well, for absolute 0, this is actually an advantage. For the others, obviously not. But still, I'm pretty optimistic. So now we come to the end, and first she will deal damage to the hero with the highest hit points. 2 actually. So the hero with the highest hit points is now, well, that is actually Legacy. So he takes now 2 hit points. Or he loses 2 hit points. Then it's this guy here, Citizen Blood, and he will deal the hero with the lowest hit points 2. So that would be then that would be Bunker. So he's at 18 now. And then, as I said, it's Citizen Winter. And it said this card deals each hero target 2 cold damage. So again, Legacy takes 2 more. Damn, okay, here we go. It's a little fiddly now, but okay. And then Bunker takes 2 more. And now it's actually absolute 0, and this is a little different because when absolute 0 would take cold damage, he regains that many hit points instead. So in this case, it's not a problem at all. Fine. Okay. So that was now the villain phase. Okay, so I will play this card here, Take Down, and that's an ongoing card. Villain cards cannot be played. At the end of your turn, the villain target with the highest hit points deals Legacy 2 energy damage. Okay. And then I will use the power, which gives me again +1 for all heroes. And then he takes actually 3 energy damage because of the advanced rules here. Okay. Well, he's pretty weak already, but we got to see if we can do this. Then it's now Bunker. And well, yeah, he is in this special mode, in the turret mode, so he cannot play or draw cards. But he can use 2 powers. So again, but first it says here at the start of a turn, Bunker deals 1 target 2 projectile damage. And because he's got a +3 here, he can deal now 1 target 5 projectile damage, and that will be Citizen Dawn. And then, yeah, okay, and then it's I can use 2 powers. So first I will use this one again, and I will regain 2 hit points. And then we got the grenade launcher once again. Bunker deals 1 target 2 projectile damage, so +3. So that's again 5 damage for her. And then Bunker may deal a second target 2 projectile damage. So we can do this now here, and we can take 5 from this target. And I guess that's it then. And then I can discard a card. And I will, yeah. Okay, I will actually discard the external combustion to keep the Gatling gun one more turn. Okay, and then it's Absolute Zero. And Absolute Zero will actually play this card here, Horfire. And that's a really good card, and it says Absolute Zero deals 1 target 2 cold damage. So that will be now Citizen Dawn. Wait a minute. Before we do this, it says at the start of the turn, Absolute Zero deals that target 2 cold damage. So that's Citizen Dawn. And because Absolute Zero has this equipment here, the focused purchase, and this one from the Inspiring Presence, and finally this one from the Galvanize. This is now 5 damage, so that's pretty much. Okay, and then he can play now this card, and he can now deal 1 target 2 cold damage. And that is then again, it's basically the same. It's 2, it's 3, 4, 5. So she takes another 5 damage. Okay. And then Absolute Zero deals a second target 2 fire damage. So this will be now this one here, the Mystical Defenses. And that is... wait a second. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I could deal that fire damage to myself. On the other hand, that's a pretty tough one actually, but it's interesting. Okay, actually I think I can deal myself the fire damage. A target is simply a card with hits points on it. So I'm a bit shaky. Strange. Okay. So I deal myself now 2 fire damage. And so these are now 4 damage that I take. Here we go. And I can redirect this damage then, or I deal the same damage now, the same cold damage now to another target. So I can deal now to her 4 fire damage. And then it says here Absolute Zero deals himself 1 cold damage and 1 fire damage. So that means now I do myself 1 cold damage. That allows me to heal. So if I deal 1 cold damage, this is actually 1, 2, 3, plus 1 is 4. So I can heal now 4 hit points because of this null point calibration unit. And then I deal myself 1 fire damage. So once this time I lose actually 3 hit points, but again she takes now 3 more hit points. And I think that was a damn successful turn. That was just an amazing card, and she is now really in trouble. I mean, if things go really well, I might be able to kill her in 1 or 2 turns. It's possible actually. Okay, but let's see. Then I'm allowed to draw a new card here for Absolute Zero. Is that so? No, actually that's wrong. That is wrong. Before I do this, I can use another power. Because until now, I just played that card. So I can use now another power. And I will deal myself even more fire damage. So I will deal myself again 3 more fire damage, or 1 fire damage. So that means I deal myself 3 damage. And then she takes 3 more damage, which is awesome. Okay, and now I'm actually allowed to draw another card. Perfect. And now we come to the environment phase. We got the mystical defenses. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals each non-environment target 2 energy damage. So this is nothing that happens right now. So we got to draw another card. Well, that is bad. The Phosphorescent Chamber. Increase all damage dealt by 1. Increase all hit points recovery by 1. It might not even be so bad. At the end of the environment turn, each player must discard a card. At the start of the environment turn, each player may discard 1 card to destroy this card. That's a bad card. Because of him. But okay. So now let's see. All damage is now increased by 1. All recovery is also increased by 1. Okay. So that means now we come to the next turn. No, wait a minute. First we got the mystical defenses. So each non-environment target takes 2 energy damage. That's a problem now. So she takes now, she takes now 3 damage. And they take also now all 3 damage. Now they take more damage than they actually should take. Okay, yeah. And he is immune to environment damage. He takes 3 damage. And he also takes 3 damage. Fine. Okay. And now we come to the villain phase. Okay, it's now the start of the villain turn. Each citizen regains 1 hit point, but each citizen will now regain 2 hit points because of this chamber here. So she regains 2. And they also regain each 2. Okay, well, let's see now. There is no card drawn because of takedown. So we don't have to draw a villain card. Okay, so we come to the end now. And she will now do actually 3 damage to the hero with the highest hit points. So in this case, this is him. So he's at 13 now. Okay. And then it's Citizen Blood. At the end of the villain turn, this card is the hero target with the lowest hit points, 1 melee damage. So these would be again 3 damage. And the guy with the lowest hit points is now, I think, again him. So he takes again 3 more damage. Well, we better kill her fast now. Okay, then. And then it's her at the end of the villain turn. This card deals each hero target 2 cold damage. So that's 4. So he's nearly dead. So we really got to find a way now to 3, 4. He's at 6 now. Okay, so now this is a pretty close call now. I'm not sure. I kind of calculated this. I think it works. I think I can kill her in this turn, but I'm not absolutely sure. If I mess this up, I'm in trouble, because then Legacy will probably die in the next turn. That's pretty sure. Although not necessarily. We'll see about that. So first of all, it's now the start of the turn, so this damage thing goes away, because this is the galvanize thing. But now I play a card, and that is the Flying Smash. Legacy deals up to 3 targets 3 melee damage each. So that means now I will deal her, well, actually 5 damage, because of the Inspiring Presence and of the Phosphorescent Chamber. So that's 5 damage. I deal her. And well, then I can deal 2 more targets, up to 5 damage, and I will actually try to bring this. I'm not sure if I want to do that, actually. No, that's it. I guess that's it. And then I will simply use again my power Galvanize, which gives the heroes an additional damage. Okay, now it's Bunker. Oh, and of course I can deal a card. I can draw a card. And then it's Bunker. And he still has the Gatling gun. And that allows him now to do 2 projectile damage. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage to her. That's a pretty efficient weapon. And then I can use 2 powers. The first one will be I regain 2 hit points. And another one, because there is this chamber in play, so recovery is now an additional hit point. Then I can use my grenade launcher. I can deal 1 target 2 projectile damage. So that's again 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage on her. So now she's actually in a pretty bad shape. She has now only 6 damage left, and that should be enough. Absolute Zero can now finish her off. First of all, it's actually this thing here, the Impale, and that does 2 cold damage. Absolute Zero does 2 cold damage to her. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's actually it. We killed her. Ha! Great! This card killed her. Well, that was fantastic. Great, yeah, I did it. And, well, actually, I wasn't too hard, I guess. I think I was doing pretty well. Great. Okay, and I still had reserves. I mean, I didn't really do the turn of Absolute Zero. And then there was this thing too, which would have done 3 more damage. So I think I could have done about, I don't know, the whole turn, maybe about 10 more damage or something like that. So I think it was a pretty clear victory. Actually, I can say maybe I was a little lucky. I guess it was pretty good that I drew these healing cards at the very beginning, so they had no big effect. I think that was a good thing. Apart from that, I don't know really. I mean, this turret mode, the Gatling gun, and so these were really, and the grenade launcher, these were really strong cards. I mean, this guy could do a lot of damage, and he can heal with the maintenance unit. So this whole bunker was incredibly strong. And also him, I mean, he was doing great. Absolute Zero, just fantastic with his 2 modules. He's got a great flexibility, but could choose between healing, doing damage. Just awesome. And then this thing, and all this increased by legacy. So I think we did really well. I mean, it was a great game. Absolutely cool. Okay, a few words about that game. For some reason, actually I don't know why, I hesitated to buy this, even though I read a lot of great reviews, and I saw some reviews, but these reviews were never really convincing to me. I don't know why, but no idea. And also this, okay, you deal 1 point here, take 1 point there, and so it seemed, when I've seen that, it seemed a little abstract. It seems like you're just placing points here and there and placing markers here and there, and it's just a big counting job. And maybe it's like that if you watch that, but it's definitely not like this if you play it. This game plays maybe a little different than it seems to be if you watch it, because it has a lot of theme in it, and you really can enjoy the theme if you play the game. At least I can do this. And with all these different combinations, with the environments and the different villains and heroes, so you can really see these people fighting in the ruins of Atlantis, walking through the rooms there, and that's just a great experience. I think it's a lot of fun to play that game. It's really awesome. It's much more interesting than just counting all these things together. Apart from that, it's fun if you can count all these things together that power you up. So if you simply start, okay, you do 2 damage, and then you go on, okay, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just great. I mean, that's somehow it gives you some satisfaction if you are getting stronger and stronger, and you can count together all these modifiers. It's just it's just a funny thing, I guess. The problem I have with this game, I think it's too easy. I think it is simply too easy. I played this game, well, first of all, I played this game with 2 players, and I've lost terribly. I didn't stand a chance, and I think that is a balance problem. I think if you play with 2 players, it's nearly impossible to win. There are actually some villains where you have to do, for example, 7 damage in a single round. And if you don't make this, that very, very deadly card stays there forever. And it's definitely much easier to do 7 damage in a single round with 3 players than it is with 2. So I had the problem, for example, I have drawn this card, deal 7 damage in a single round, or something very bad happens. I don't know what it exactly was, but it was very, very bad. And I was at the beginning of the game where the players only had the power to do, well, basically each could do 1, maybe 2 damage. And so it was absolutely impossible with 2 players to do 7 damage. Maybe with 3 I might have had a chance here. So that's definitely a difference in this case. But still, I think that the game is too easy when you play with 3 or more players. I mean, even if I take the advanced mode here, which should make it harder, they actually write that this is no longer really fair balanced then. And then I played here, as you can see, against Citizen Dawn here, and she's got a difficulty level of 3, which is actually the highest difficulty level of the base game. And there are a few with 4, but I also played against the difficulty level 4, and I did about 10 games or so with this game, and I never lost. Actually, I was never even close to lose. I always won this game pretty clear. Until now, this was my first time I played the advanced mode. Before, I always played the normal mode, which was, I don't know, it was no real challenge, to be honest. This was now the advanced mode, and well, as you can see, it's again a pretty clear victory. Okay, you can say maybe if there were some bad cards here and there, maybe I would have died. But then, if this would have been the case, if there were these bad cards, I would not play that offensive. I would not have risked so much. I would concentrate on killing all these guys and then letting her build her small army and killing them again. So I think I would allow her to flip the card and then after a while flip it again, do it all the slow way. That is, I think, the safer way to play that villain. Okay, anyway, maybe there is some way to make it a little harder. Maybe someday they can bring just a little chart or so where each villain has maybe a second step to make it even more harder or something like that. Maybe that shouldn't be too hard to do, I guess. Okay, apart from this is an amazing game, and I just, as I said, I hesitated a little bit to buy it. Actually, I hesitated for years, for 2 or 3 years. And then, in some reason, I don't know why, I just said, okay, come on, let's try it, let's buy this game. And it was after two plays, it was one of my top 5 games. I just love it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's fascinating. It's great. Lots of theme, lots of fun. I also play this game with other people. They also love it. It's just great. It plays fantastic solitaire. Yeah. So just get it. You can expand it. There is an enormous amount of replayability here. You have right now you have about 18 heroes, you have about 18 villains. I don't know, there are about 10 or 12 environments, something like that. So if you all mix this up, it's simply ridiculous. And there will be more. The next expansion is already announced. So definitely a great deal. Okay, and I'm gonna do more videos about that. I'm sure gonna do more videos about the other expansions. Well, I hope to see you then. Bye.